Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. It was an ordinary Sunday morning. The kind where nothing remarkable happens. Coffee steaming softly in our mugs, gentle music drifting from her phone, and the faint smell of freshly laundered clothes filling the air. We were folding laundry side by side, a quiet domestic rhythm that usually brought comfort. Then she spoke casually as if commenting on the weather. Sometimes I think I should have ended up with Daniel instead. I paused, unsure if I'd heard her correctly. I expected a laugh, that familiar half-smile that meant she was joking. But there was nothing. Her gaze stayed on the towel in her hands, her tone neutral, as though she were speaking aloud to herself. "What did you just say?" I asked. She didn't flinch. She met my eyes and said, "I just think maybe it would have been easier with him." Her hand drifted to gesture around our home, our life, the small world we had built with effort, patience, and sacrifice. I didn't reply. I just felt a tightening in my chest, a coil of tension that hurt. I walked away, heading downstairs, trying to convince myself I'd misheard, that I was overreacting. She didn't follow. She didn't offer clarification. Nothing. That night I stayed on the couch. Not because she asked me to, but because the space between us suddenly felt too vast to ignore. I lay there, thinking about Daniel, the man from her college years, charming and ambitious, the one who left for a job abroad without warning, leaving her heartbroken. And now, years later, she casually suggested she might have chosen him if given the chance. After that day, something inside me changed. I stopped talking as much, lingered at work, sometimes sitting in the car for extra minutes to put on a mask before stepping inside. She noticed, naturally, and asked if something was wrong. I shrugged and said everything was fine, though it wasn't. I began retreating quietly, piece by piece, shutting her out without confrontation. I stopped sharing the little details of my day, my thoughts, my laughter. Our evenings became mechanical, our dinners silent. I couldn't stop imagining Daniel, this ghost from the past, overshadowing our lives. I felt diminished beside him even though he wasn't there. Then came the night she arrived home late, hours past dinner, no warning. I waited. When she walked through the door around 10 p.m., she seemed nervous, unsettled. She said she met an old friend for drinks. She didn't say his name and she didn't have to. Was it him? I asked. She nodded. I said nothing more. Instead, I quietly packed a small bag, not out of anger but because I had nothing left to give. "Maybe you need to figure out what you really want," I told her. She seemed about to speak, but I cut her off. "I'm not angry," I said. "I'm just tired." Then I left. I stayed with a friend for a while, moving into a temporary space. She tried reaching me, a few calls, one message attempting to explain. She said she didn't mean it the way it sounded. I didn't respond. And in the silence that followed, something unexpected happened. I felt lighter. Lonely, yes, but free. I began waking up early again, going for runs, cooking my own meals. I rediscovered who I was before I spent so long trying to fit into someone else's life. I saw how much I had compromised, how hard I had tried to be enough for someone always chasing what wasn't ours. Months passed and I filed for separation. No anger, no spectacle, just distance. Then one day she appeared at my door. She looked different, tired, reflective, weighed down by time spent thinking. She told me she had seen Daniel again. They hadn't spoken. He was still chasing his shiny, unreachable dreams. Then she looked at me, eyes brimming with tears. "I was wrong," she admitted. "I thought I wanted excitement, to feel desired. But what we had was real. And I ruined it. You were always there, you never left, and I didn't appreciate that." I believed her. I wanted to. But sometimes understanding comes too late. By the time someone recognizes your worth, you've already learned to live without needing their approval. I didn't feel anger, but I had changed. I wasn't the person who stood in the kitchen months ago, hurt and waiting. I had learned to protect myself, to cherish the version of me who no longer begged for love. "I'm glad you understand now," I said softly, "but I can't come back." She sank to her knees, sobbing on the doorstep. I didn't slam the door. I closed it gently, calmly, almost tenderly. For the first time, I wasn't clinging. I was choosing peace. For me, for the self I had finally reclaimed. Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers.